Invading the internet, covering Web 2.0, coast to coast, worldwide, and everywhere in between. This is where you put the social in social media. We are Social Blade.
We are the greatest social media show on the internet right now. I just want to tell you that. I am not biased. That's just the way it is. It's the truth. Social Blade Show, episode number 70, is going to be an epic one. We are going with a very light lineup from a stories perspective, but it's still, I mean, for all intents and purposes, this is going to be just an epic show. I'm one of the co-hosts. I'm JD Rucker.
I'm Jason Ergo.
And I am Jeff Cratter.
And you'll notice a distinct missingness of our very own Aaron Ryan. Aaron is still in Canada, and apparently they have turned off the internet in the entire country. So there are 14 people in the world who are not on the internet right now, those being the Canadians of the world. So those of you who are in Canada and watching the show, congratulations, you're one of the few, because the internet is gone in Canada. They should have it resolved here shortly, I hope. In the meantime, we're going to have what just turns out to be like just a jam-packed show when it comes to social media news. This is the week that the easiest way to put it, this is a week where we're going to be a lot more educational than normal, and the opinions that we're going to express are our own and are not shared by you guys, but they should be, because you should listen to us. It starts off even in something as silly and simple as Google. People use Google, and as many know, Google switched up their CEO today, went with co-founder Larry Page as their new CEO. This comes right after a profit call or an earnings call that showed that they blew away all expectations. This news couldn't have come at a better time, because Google is under a little bit of heat right now, as Ergo will tell us about.
Yeah. So for anyone that knows about the term that's sort of been getting thrown around for the past couple of years, net neutrality, which is basically, net neutrality basically means not shaping the internet. If you're for net neutrality, you're for sort of leaving it regulated in the sense that you can't give priority to certain things over certain other things. Like, for example, you don't have to pay more to get access to Google from your ISP. Rather, your ISP might give you Yahoo for free, and then you have to pay more for Google. Anyway, it's sort of the whole talk around this has sort of come up with now search neutrality. Basically, all the ISPs have sort of been going, okay, you're making us not give priority to different things. Now, what about Google? Google sort of controls so much of the internet here, and they're sort of doing the same thing here, be it prioritizing their own services over other services, or also, in short, paid search. That's sort of not the way. I mean, if you're talking about, getting Google for free, or sorry, Yahoo for free, and you have to pay for Google, why should you get these results for free, and then these ones pay for the higher spot up on there? And that sort of gets around the free system of making the best link the ones at the top there. So it's, like I said, it's sort of been a hot topic around here. And what do you guys think on there? Should Google sort of open up and stop doing these type of things there, and then also sort of disclose more about their algorithm so there can sort of be academic review to make sure that they're not doing anything notorious there? What do you think?
I'll let Jeff start, because I'm angry about this.
Well, thanks, JD. To answer that last question, no, I don't think they should disclose their algorithm. That'd be awful. But in terms of net neutrality, or more regulation of Google, I think it comes down to the market checks and balances itself. If you believe Google is swaying the search results, and I've heard more specifically in their ebooks, go to a different search engine. Use a different search engine. That's why there are different search engines out there. If this would be a problem if it was one search engine in Google was it, and there wasn't a Bing, there wasn't a Yahoo, there wasn't AOL, there wasn't, all these other search engines out there. If it was one search engine, yeah, that would be a problem, but it's not. There are different search engines out there that all have different algorithms, and they check and balance themselves. recently, we talked last night during our meeting about how someone came up with got a big stink because Babelfish wasn't ranking higher than Google Translate, and Matt Cutts even came out and tweeted, of course something called Google Translate is going to rank higher than something called Babelfish for the keyword of translator. So. Do I think Google sometimes puts their stuff ahead of others? Yeah, I mean, they're a business too, and they have every right to do so because it's their property and their platform. I also understand the case of, they have a voice, they have a power, and they have a responsibility to level the playing field and make everything fair. But, it is their platform, it is their property. If you don't like it, you can obviously go to a different search engine.
Now, what do you think about, this is really something I never even thought of before, the whole point of paid search. I mean, that's sort of Google's core business there. And that sort of, in and of itself, I guess they do a good job of being transparent and marking things as a sponsored search result. But what are your thoughts on the whole paying for a better position?
Me or Jeff?
Both.
I'm still angry. No, I'm good. I'm still angry about this whole thing. So you go ahead, Jeff.
Oh, excellent. Okay. Well, no, I don't see anything wrong with that. I mean, you're paying for a spot that is competing, and I mean there is a bid process there. So the keywords that you want to rank for, they're obviously, if they're more competitive, they're going to be more expensive. So you have that. But also, something interesting to think about. If you search, for instance, if you go onto Google and search
I'm on Google. What am I searching for?
If you search like Pepsi or any of like the bigger name brands, like the big global brands, like you don't see competitors of those brands a whole lot advertising on like Coca-Cola pay-per-click advertising on Pepsi, or
I think it's because
doing the vice versa. Is there? I read something. There is actually something there about brand identity and brand. I can't remember off the top of my head specifically, but you don't see. Yes, you cannot use trademarking.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna say, I mean, if you're searching for Pepsi, you probably don't want to actually get to Coke, and it would just be bad business. I don't know. But you got a good point on the
same thing as if you're searching like a local business and you want to find that local business, but someone else is pay-per-click advertising on that search result.
So apparently Dr. Pepper is the only soda that actually buys for the keyword soda. That's interesting.
Well, I don't think that people do a whole lot of searching.
Is there something actually there with the big brand names, the trademarking? Because I know there's something in the actual terms of service that say you cannot use trademarking in the actual ad.
Well, you can. So you can file a trademark claim. If you have if you own a trademark, you can file a trademark claim with Google. If somebody else is utilizing your trademark in their AdWords, then you can't do it, and they'll block it for everybody. Try to buy an ad for the term Toyota. Good luck. So they follow the trademark laws. It's all good and fine. And I'm going to spew out my anger at this point. This whole idea, and I understand where people are coming from, especially particularly when Google rolls out a product such as their ebook product. A lot of companies will say, wait a second, they're we were ranked there first, and now they're starting to outrank us, and this is not fair. You know what? You're right. It's not fair. That's because they're Google. And as soon as you start seeing, if they start getting into and messing with what Google, if Google wants to put their products number one for every single thing, every single search out there, it won't work because people are obviously will use a different service, but they would still have that right. If you're going to force Google to be transparent with what they do and to allow others to be ranked higher than them in certain terms, then go tell ABC that they have to advertise for American Idol. Okay, go tell McDonald's that they have to have pictures of the Whopper plastered around their walls. You don't. This is business. You can't. I mean, this is America. You cannot force a company to advertise its competitors on its own service. That's totally it's BS. Now people will say, "Oh no, but Google has gone beyond being a business. They've set themselves up to be the standard and the way that we gather information." Then you're absolutely right. Then go back to what Jeff said. People have a choice. They don't have to use Google. They can use there's billions of search engines out there, and Bing is the obvious clear alternative. Bing and Yahoo, which Yahoo is run by Bing anyway. Those are the ones that are out there. There's stuff popping up every day that is allowing it. Facebook is looking into getting into web search. This is not an issue, and it's something that I think it's just a waste of everyone's time and breath and energy to even be looking into this. It is constitutionally wrong to even consider trying to tell Google what they're allowed to put or how they need to handle their service. They're not doing anything wrong. They're not doing anything to hurt people. They if anything, they do less than other companies to promote their own products.
It's just interesting, though. It's just interesting, though, that Google themselves are one of the biggest proponents for net neutrality, and then there's this similar type of a thing here that they're sort of the bad guy in.
It's similar. It's similar because it's excuse me. It's similar simply because it's based around. I don't think it's very similar, honestly. It's because you're talking about, search neutrality is not something like you're with net. I'm sorry, I'm not making myself very clear. Let me start over real quick. Thank you for the comment, Jeff. It helped. Reboot. Control Alt Delete myself. Okay, so what they're not suggesting in net neutrality is that Comcast needs to give equal time and equal share to Time Warner, for example. But in search neutrality, that's basically what they're kind of saying. They're saying that if you have a service, that part of your service needs to be completely, it has to be completely unbiased. Nobody ever said that Google. Nobody's even insinuating that Google needs to have their product be completely 100% unbiased. They may. Well, I shouldn't say nobody. There are people that are insinuating that, but it's bogus. It's just not. I mean, this is business. This is how companies work. And just because they're really, really good, everybody wants to try to take them down, including you, Ergo. Shame on you. All right, my rant's done. Anyone else with a rant?
No, I mean, but to play devil's advocate here, you could also look at it a different way and say, what's the cliche saying? With great power comes like great responsibility, where they have all of this power, they have an influential voice, and they have to hold themselves to a higher standard because if you control the messaging. What was it? Basically, what I was going to coming full circle here, I'm basically taking a page out of JD's playbook here and having a brain stumble. But
I can pick up the ball for you.
No, okay, well, go for it. Let me find myself out of this circular logic, or what am I?
Circular logic works because circular logic works. With great power comes great responsibility. But the whole idea of search neutrality would mean that most of the time Spider-Man must use his webs, but sometimes he has to use his magic lasso, and then other times he needs to use his bat utility belt because he can't just focus on what he's good at and promoting his own powers. He has to be able to promote other people's powers too, even if he can't wield them as strongly. That was total BS. But go ahead, Jeff. I stalled long enough.
Thanks for allowing me to gather my thoughts. Basically, what I'm saying is, if you are sitting there and you're controlling the messages, like Google has the ability to control what we're finding and what we're searching, then you have immense power. Immense power. And, I mean, you have the ability to censor information. You have the ability to basically shape what people are allowed to see. I mean, look at China, for example, and their censoring of what is on the internet. And I mean, you're not even allowed to get on Wikipedia. You're not even allowed to, do those things. They censor it. So, Google has the ability to do these things. But like we were saying earlier, if they do so, we can go somewhere else. So that's their incentive to not do it because we could see through it really quickly.
I don't think the abuse is strong enough for anybody to be making a stink. Do a search, Ergo. Do a search for search.
Yeah, that's what I was showing
You
earlier.
did that last night?
I was just doing it a little on the air also. I don't know if you guys saw, but yeah, it was pretty cool. You do a search for search. I can't type and talk at the same time. On here, on Google, you get Bing as the first result. You go to Bing.
Do a search for search engine on Google.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. You were telling that cool story. Never mind.
Well, I showed it. If you do a search for search on Bing, you get Yahoo, and if you do a search on Yahoo for search, you get Yahoo. They're the only one that likes themselves. Search engine gives you Dogpile. Really?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Bing, Alta Vista, Google custom search.
So Google search is fourth on a search on Google for search engine.
Yes.
Yeah, but do you think that? I mean, that can be a search that they can get away with.
But yeah, who's gonna search for search on Google? Actually, is.
Then again, my boss searches Yahoo, is on Yahoo and searches Google to go to Google.
Yeah, no, that always surprises me when I see just average Americans, I would say, just using the computer. Most people, instead of going to Facebook.com, will go to Google and type Facebook or any site like that. It's
I had
really
an experience
common.
that the other day. It annoyed me to death.
Yeah.
I had an experience like that the other day where I said, okay, so go to blah, 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 blah.com. And he went to Google.
Yeah.
First he typed in google.com and he typed in the URL.
Yep.
And I'm like, what are you doing there, buddy? You don't have to. You know that you can just go to that little thing up top, that bar where there's, you know, where you typed in Google. Yeah. Fantastic stuff. This whole internet thing. Yeah.
Hopefully,
okay.
They won't work. Are they still working for you?
No. I mean, yes.
Oh.
Sorry. That's. Yeah. I mean,
They were released for poor internet usage.
It's not like one of our products is it has anything to do with search engines or anything like that. But whatever. Yeah. Sometimes. Oh my gosh. I have erred myself a little bit, and I actually pulled. Oh, there it is. Okay. So I've unerred myself, and yeah, I think it's time to do a smooth transition so that no one even knows that we're segueing to the next story.
Oh, jeez.
All right. So socialcast.com came out with an interesting infographic. They did a study, and they found that up to 54% of businesses do not allow social networking whatsoever at the place of business, and that those that do offer it at a limited level. Sometimes they'll open it up. I don't have it in front of me, but the stats are pretty telling that for the most part, people are starting to realize, yes, social media is there. No, we don't want it in business. The interesting part about the study is that they're actually showing that up to those who what they call the term they use is WILB, which is workplace internet leisure browsing. Those businesses that allow WILBing are 9% more productive than those who don't. So, wow. In other words, you're telling me that if you're allowed at least a little bit of time, not much, and they say under 20% of your time is spent doing things on the internet that are not necessarily work-related, that you may actually be able to produce more than if you were in a work environment that was like China and wouldn't allow you to go to Wikipedia or Facebook or any of these places. I found the study very interesting, and it's funny because it really got massive retweets. It got a lot of likes on Facebook, this particular story, and then on some reprints of the story, reprints of the infographic, it got some major retweet action. So at least those on Twitter and Facebook seem to agree with this, whether their motives are sincere or they just want to point it out to their boss. Who knows?
Yeah, no, I was looking through this. They have a good point there that, you know, it gives your mind a little rest in between things you're actually doing. As long as you're doing it for less than 20% of your job, it actually frees you to think about other things and be more creative. I agree. And we did a little survey with our audience here, and it looks like about 75% of people's schools or workplaces allow social media there. Only about 12% of people say that they don't allow it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but I mean, it's an interesting topic to debate. But I think we discussed this yesterday. Was who did the study? Who are the people who conducted this study?
That is a good point there.
And what do they say? I mean, SocialCast probably sells social media products, right?
and I was prepared for your question. Yes,
There you go.
yes.
I mean,
That is true. And they commissioned. Hold on, they commissioned that, but it was actually the study was performed by Robert Half Technology, who interviewed more than 400 CIOs from companies across the U.S. and asked, "What is your company's policy on visiting social networking sites such as Facebook, MySpace, and Twitter while at work?" So that was that
to
part.
discredit the study because they used MySpace.
There you go. Exactly. But then the actual information about the productivity came from a study done by the University of Melbourne. And they were asked, 70% of people, let me see if I can read this. 70% of people who use the internet at work engage in WILB, or workplace internet leisure browsing, such as visiting non-work related sites, keeping up to date with friends, and watching videos. Now, according to this, and again, this is the University of Melbourne, this isn't the company that's selling the service. Their quote is, "Short and unobtrusive breaks, such as a quick surf of the internet, enables the mind to rest itself, leading to higher total net concentration per day's work, and as a result, increased productivity." And their study shows that it's approximately 9%. Then you look at the CNY Business Journal, and they say in some studies, employees actually suggest that web surfing at work makes them more productive by providing an easy way to escape the pressure of the day. And again, I'm biased because I do work in social media, so of course, hey, I want everybody on it. Don't quit your job. Stay on Facebook and Twitter all day. You'll love it.
Like
Make money at home.
Yeah, man.
Sell Melaleuca and Amway.
Yeah, but see, this goes back to the whole thing where if employees can't trust the if employers can't trust their employees with social media on work hours, I mean, they don't have a social media problem, they have a people problem, and they should take away their phone and their email as well. So it's no different, using Facebook is no different than having the phone there or the email there.
I found out that you're actually not legally allowed to take away people's phones for safety reasons.
Yeah, I heard that too. What did you? I thought you brought that up in an earlier show.
I might have. I think I heard about it through YouTube. Someone said that on a YouTube video. So, but yeah, I know you're right, and it makes sense, I guess. But I mean, I don't think it's a safety reason that you're not allowed to take away a Facebook access or something like that. Though I think didn't we talk about you can open up a 911? Oh no, it's via texting. Via texting, you can text 911.
Well, so they're using the European example where there's a little bit more openness in the workplace. 65% of employees, this is out of a survey of 2,500 people in 5 European countries. 65% of employees said that social networking has made them more efficient. 46% that it sparked their personal creativity. Now, we had a show about 3 months ago where we talked about how employers should not only embrace social media, but they should encourage people, their employees, to participate in assisting their business. This is different here. What we're talking about here is specifically allowing employees to use their time at work to leisurely utilize social media sites and to check on their friends and to surf the internet, for whatever various reasons. Bottom line here is this: if it doesn't matter which side of the fence you're on, which study you believe, because here's one study. Again, this was being promoted by a company that sells social media products to companies. Internal social media products to where they can socialize amongst themselves. So this is probably a biased study, and there's plenty of studies out there that say that social media kills productivity. The bottom line is this: if you don't allow it, it's still going to happen. If you do allow it, it can be abused. You have to address the issue no matter what. If you whether you own a business or you have a company, you have employees, for whatever it is. If you take it, you can say, "Oh, but I've got Facebook blocked." Where's a good percentage of Facebook activity shifting over to now in 2010 and now into 2011? Mobile. Are you going to take away everybody's iPhone? Are you going to prevent them? Make sure that they have Facebook locked out on their Android? No. Are you going to, You have to monitor it. You have to come up with a plan and a policy. And my personal, I don't know about these guys, but my personal opinion is that that plan should involve a certain level of social media use, or even just, and it doesn't have to be social media. It can be internet use. In other words, you know what? For 15 minutes after lunch, come in here, check your email, get your stuff done, fix anything that's good, and then you got 30 minutes of from, if you get in at 7, you got 30 minutes from 8 to 8:30 that you can spend doing whatever you want to do, whether that's work or social media. That's fine. Get it in, get it out of your system, and then do it again at 3 o'clock or something like that. These are just, again, suggestions.
Yeah, I don't think necessarily the study was saying that scheduled times is definitely really the best.
Oh, no, that's
thing.
like I said, that's just me.
Yeah, I think it's more of let them do it on the fly in between things. Like, there's, in general, when you're at work, I don't work in an office myself anymore, but for people that do,
lucky,
you're not on all the time there. So I mean, there is real downtime there, and if you're just stuck staring at your computer screen with whatever CRM you're using or whatever you're doing, you're just boring yourself. And yeah, doing these creative things really does help you, and you're not worried about what's going on. Which would be distracting you rather than looking at it quickly and finding out what's going on.
Right.
Then inside your system, like you said.
I have to cut you off there real quick.
Yeah.
Jeff, do you have an opinion first? Okay.
Oh man, I think you guys took it. That's it.
I'm so mean. No, I had to jump in here. We have some actual hard-hitting breaking news coming across the wire right now. Apparently, it has been scientifically proven that Facebook is the Jersey Shore. Jeff, did you get this on your wire?
Yeah. Here's the situation. The situation is there was research done to basically that found Facebookers, the majority of Facebookers, are on pretty much the same intellectual level as the cast members of the Jersey Shore. So, Ergo, did you have it up on the on the screen there?
It's on the screen.
All right, perfect. All right, so if we look at Figure 1, it found that Facebookers aren't high-level readers, and they found that as the complexity of an article increases, the number of times it's shared on Facebook decreases. And they found that articles that are written at a second grade level are the most shared articles. And as you continually go down, and the articles are written at a graduate level or, undergrad level or high school level, they are definitely, once you get into high school, or you basically have a negative effect in sharing. Your articles basically will not be shared with anybody. If you basically share articles at an intellectually light level, they will be shared the most. They also found that Facebookers are infatuated with sex.
Second grade.
They're second graders and sex. And what they basically found was stories with sexual content were shared far more than the average story was. And if you're taking a look at the graph, if you Ergo show Figure 2.
We got it.
Figure 2. You will see the difference. Yeah, sex shared way more than the second place, which is positive, learning, media, work, constructive, self-reference, numbers, anxiety, leisure, and negative. So but anything with sexual content was shared the most. Anything with positive content was a distant second place. So in Exhibit 3, they found that Facebookers are anti-geeks. So some of the most least shareable words they found were versus, apps, review, down, poll, game, York, Twitter, social, time, iPhone, and Google. So, if you want your stuff to be shared on Facebook, do not use any of those words, especially versus, which I actually find quite surprising. I mean, out of all those, do you find...
Really? Wow.
I'm surprised. Are you saying versus? Really because you're... Or are you saying really because you were surprised that he's surprised, or because...
No,
really...
I mean, I'm surprised that versus is one of the least shared words in... Hold on one second. Is one of the least shared words on in Facebook.
Well, yeah, it makes sense because Facebook is, we do as a Western society, we do have a tendency to make things
Overly
very.
complicated?
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
What? I think you said it.
Overly complicated?
Yeah, exactly. We tend to make things very very complex, and Facebook is. Keep in mind, here's the study. If somebody really wants to put out a study, that would get just massive pickup, and it wouldn't be that hard to do. All they'd have to do is take one of those brain scanners, EKGs or whatever, and run some scans on people when they are doing work, when they're doing family time, when they're doing whatever it is they're doing, and then run the scans on the same people when they go into Facebook. I would venture a guess that not only are different parts of the brain stimulated, but that actual overall brain usage is lowered because, again, that's a stipulation. I don't have a scientific proof on this, but I would love for somebody to do it. So anybody out there, do it, please.
So I also, we had another little poll running here in the room, and I found out why we don't have more viewers on tonight's show. It appears that our audience in general, their Facebook updates are all at a college level.
Oh, well, I guess we do not cater to the Jersey Shore type.
Yeah.
So, and then the last one basically stated that Facebookers need simple language. When analyzed the parts of speech and stories shared on Facebook, they found that those stories with flowery language laden with adjectives and adverbs aren't shared as often as simple noun and verb posts. So, basically, we're all simpletons, and we read on a second grade level. We enjoy sexual content, and we are not geeks. We hate sharing things with geeky topics, and we need simple sentence structure. So, if you'd like to engage the 500 million users on Facebook, follow those steps.
Here we go. Watch my show. Link. Is that simple enough?
I think that's too complex.
What are you trying to say there, Jason? I don't get it.
Trying to cater to the Facebook audience here.
Let's do Apple versus Google.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, see, that's the thing is, everyone likes the versus stuff. That's why I guess I'm not the majority of Facebook users, but I love seeing versus something.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that.
That's really interesting.
I want us all to just get along. That's just my opinion. I mean, it does make sense if you think about it that the study would show that. But it's also a pretty sad testament to society that this one site, and we're talking Facebook, but I would say social media in general, that we're heading away from wanting to be brainy and being more picturesque, I guess, more wanting simple, quick, easy, heavy hitting. I mean, I've watched some of my sites over the years, and even people coming from Google are spending less time on sites reading the full articles. It's across the board. The time spent on a site, our social media induced ADD is really kicking in, and it's sad. I think that this is the downfall of society. We're doomed.
Yeah. No,
I mean, it really is kind of depressing to see. I mean, it legitimately is.
But
no, I'm serious.
I think it's the reasoning for all of this is, you're limited into such a small amount of space that you can actually use, especially on Twitter. You have to make your things as succinct as possible, which usually means shortening sentences, words, not using as complicated words that are longer, and that's what's driving down the grade level. And then just the sheer volume of information that everyone is processing. You don't have time to do longer things. Yeah,
but you also have to understand, like, how big is your community online? I mean, we might be we're a small segment of the community that actually, is not intellectually lightweight. The majority of those 500 million users, it goes back to
That's
how the average Facebook user has, 100 friends, or 30 friends, or 50 friends, whatever that was, and the average Twitter user has 32. And then, I think to myself, I look at all my friends and all the people I follow on Twitter, and they have, hundreds. So where are these people that have 32? You know what I mean?
I think if we're saying average, I mean, how many accounts out there? We keep saying 500 million, 550 million, 600 million. How many accounts out there are created and abandoned? I think I've got some.
Yeah, that created and abandoned by people that just try it and want to go away, and then also really just bots and things like that, fake accounts.
I mean, they'll have one
all
person
from Singapore and Bangladesh and the Philippine Islands.
And JD's basement. No, just kidding.
I have no bots. They're all real things.
Well, speaking of that, actually, there was this woman from the Philippines that friended me, and sometimes I just, will accept friend requests if I have mutual friendship. And she had a mutual friendship through Ergo, to me, and then I was like, oh yes, definitely, I'll accept this. So not even 5 minutes later, she messages me and says, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm at work. She says, hey, she basically said, hey, I want to get to know you a little better. I was like, well, I look forward to connecting with you further too, but I'm kind of busy at the moment. And then finally I caught on, and she was like, she basically flat out solicited me for prostate or sex or online. I was like, I'm sorry, I can't do that. Defriend. I was like, what the hell? There's some crazy people on Facebook.
I'll accept pretty much any friend request, but they unless I know someone, they go into a list on Facebook called the Who Knows list for me, and the Who Knows list doesn't get Facebook chat. So
wow.
I'll never get.
I actually still have that. I might take a screenshot of that and make a post of it. It was so funny because it totally was over my head. She was like, what are you doing? I'm like, well, I'm currently working on this report for work, and I'm kind of busy. I don't have time to chat. She's like, oh, maybe later. It's like, what's going on here? It's a little awkward.
Yeah, I don't think I need to remove pretty much all of my friends. I wish that Facebook had an easier way. I know there's plugins. Somebody had sent me a plugin a while ago. I'd love to get that plugin again, if possible, because I aborted. I didn't want to go the unnatural route. I wanted to go through each individual friend, but I made the mistake early on of thinking, oh, bigger's better. So I went ahead and added 3,000 Facebook friends, and it was like, oh, look how popular I am. And it sucks now because Facebook is pretty much worthless to me. So yeah, I definitely have to figure that out. I want to throw a little curveball at my more Banderas. I do. I have. It goes beyond dual. But yeah, the one big one is the one that's attached to my email address. So yeah, and as Arnold suggests, yes, exactly like I did on Twitter. But I stopped that I stopped back in 2009. For those who don't know, there's a time when Ergo and myself and some other people were really getting into Twitter, and we really grew our accounts very fast. And I think pretty much across the board, all of us have stopped. I mean, I stopped mine from growing in September or October of 2009. I think Ergo, if I recall, it was approximately, he was at, I could check back the records, but I think it was about February or March that he pretty much came to a full stop. So yeah, it sucks. I am going to be starting a new Twitter ID that's just friends, real people, real friends only. Wow. That's at twitter.com/JDRucker.
And he still will not reply to you.
Yeah.
Or retweet your stuff.
Hey, I retweeted you today from one account, Jeff. So
did you really? My gosh.
I did retweet you from one of the accounts.
It took you 2 months to accept my friend request on Foursquare.
Yes, I know. I am an awful social media user. You should try calling me sometimes. That's even harder. So yeah. So I want to throw us a little curveball.
Oh.
And answer a question from the audience, because it's a very good question. Tammy Flores wants us to talk about hashtags if we could, because there's sometimes they can be confusing, and I have been doing a little bit of a study on hashtags of late, and so I would love to tackle the topic if you guys are up for it.
Let's
for a
do
little
it.
Quick 5 minute. Cool. So I use hashtags myself, and for those who don't know, let's I guess start from the beginning. Hashtag on Twitter is when you actually use the pound sign, the number sign, and to precede a word, and that word with the pound sign becomes the hashtag. It can be used for several different things, A lot of times it's used for organization, for a way to basically classify tweets and get them going. If you're not logged in, or even if you are logged in, you can go to twitter.com, and depending upon where you are, whether you're using old Twitter or new Twitter, you'll see that in the trending topics, a lot of times there's going to be hashtags in there as well. These are ways that if you click on a hashtag, you can actually go to a search that basically groups together all of the tweets that have used that hashtag. Are you going there now on screen by chance, Ergo?
Where do you want me to go?
Just go to Twitter.
Sure.
And just go to Twitter and go into the trends and click on one of the ones with the hashtags.
Gotcha.
More recently, and I guess it's really been, I wouldn't call it a revolution, but it's a very a better use of it, I think, and the thing that makes it, because to be perfectly honest, the whole hashtag being used to classify like tweets has pretty much just gone to crap. Spammers utilize these hashtags now. You know, if they see something trending, spammers will try to get, people. Oh, look, this, like in this case, I'm seeing beyond scared straight as a hashtag, and so if you click on it and you scroll down enough pages, you'll find there's going to be fake tweets in there, or tweets to spammers getting you to whiten your mother's teeth or something like that, and bad links so they utilize it for spam. The other use that I personally, this is the only reason I ever use it nowadays, is to send a message, like to make a statement about how I feel about a particular thing that I'm saying. Like if I tweet something and or retweet something. For example, if you could just go to my stream, I'm sure I have something in there. It might be easier to just see it live. And for bandwidth reasons, I do not have it open. So just let me know when it's up there.
We're there.
Yeah, for movies and stuff, you'll find, I know for the Harry Potter Deathly Hallows, there were tweets inside the trending topic hashtag that had every single trending topic hashtag in there. I mean, they'll do everything. I don't really follow the trending topic hashtags anymore.
It doesn't. I know, and it's become pretty much useless. So as an example, if you scroll down to 1, 2, 3, 4, my 5th tweet, if you can put that up on the screen. I used this hashtag, and actually one of our viewers, Arnold, in here, retweeted this one. This was just a really cool little thing that I found, and I used the hashtag you'll see in there, uber cool. And the reason that I used that is because I wanted to send a message within that tweet that expresses how I feel. I saw this. It's got an amazing video. I recommend everybody click on that link and watch that video, because it really is just a sick phone. But not now. Wait till after the show. So I expressed myself by saying uber cool with a hashtag, and that makes that little word stand out. I've never used that hashtag before, but that's how it made me feel. Sometimes, one of the popular ones, and I see Arnold using this one a lot, is just saying. You make a statement and then you put a hashtag at the end, just saying. Or if it's something funny, a lot of people put hashtag LOL or hashtag
for the win.
FTW,
for the win.
Exactly.
I use that.
I mean, yeah. So, I mean, you utilize hashtags to express opinion, to express your emotion at the time, and to be able to do it, because you only got 140 characters. Down, if you scroll down a little bit further, there's one where I said, I am not the mayor of @TK Carsites Inc. I just put the hashtag sad. I didn't say, that makes me mad or this makes me sad. I didn't want to waste this stuff. I just said, hey, I'm sad now because I'm not the manager, or I'm not the mayor of TK Carsites Inc. I thought I was finally going to be a mayor somewhere on Foursquare. I created this particular Foursquare venue when we moved offices. I created this venue, and I thought, all right, I'm finally going to get a mayor's badge somewhere. And then I go into the office 2 or 3 times a month. So somebody at the office found the hashtag and started using it, and now I'm sad. Hashtag sad.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what I like them for. 2 things. First off, a few things. If you have a common topic, like I was using it for Lost when I was watching Lost, for example. You put Lost in there, and you can follow people talking about the same subject there. Also, just like 2 or 3 days ago, YouTube did a sort of a live broadcast, and they had a Twitter stream going with a particular hashtag there. And I found I was using actually this site right here that I was showing it a little while ago, tweetchat.com. You can actually put in a hashtag right there, and it'll actually update in real time all the tweets for a particular hashtag there. So it's really easy to follow live a stream. You can use it in your clients also, but this was a great way to do it. So following some sort of live broadcast or a presentation or a conference you're at, those type of things, it's great for that. And the last thing I use it for is if I'm talking about something in particular, maybe replying or something like that people might not know the context, stick a hashtag of what I'm referring to on for that also. Those are my uses of it.
And the way I use them, this is actually kind of interesting because we all really use them in different ways, but somewhat similar, is you might not know, but there are scheduled hashtag chats that happen, every week. One is Journ Chat, which happens every Monday from 7 to 10 p.m., which is a chat that takes place between journalists, bloggers, and PR professionals. And basically, they have a topic. You have a topic of the week, and then you basically chat for an hour off that chat or that hashtag, and you basically start a conversation stream. Everyone collaborates over that one topic, and you build relationships through them. A great way of getting your name out there, and a great way of kind of building your community and really sharing ideas in the community. One that I've participated in is Chat, which is Marketing Mondays chat, which takes place, I think, Mondays at 8 o'clock. There's also like social media, hashtag SEO chat, hashtag book market, hashtag career chat, hashtag LinkedIn chat. If you go to Google and just type in hashtag chats, you'll find a list of what all the different kinds of hashtag tags there are, and really jump in there. It's a great way of sharing your ideas, getting ideas, building your community organically, and getting some really quality conversation out of it, which is really neat because it's like almost a community within a community.
I like
so this. Yeah, and there's also a website where you can follow the chat real easily. Yeah, you have it up right now, which is great.
Yeah, this isn't the one I was using, but the one I was showing you does the same thing.
Yeah, I also, if I can't make it to an event or something, I'll have the hashtag chat up of that particular event, and I'll have it off to the side, and I'll occasionally drop in and see what's going on or the information. Because there are some people who do a pretty good job of relaying, what a speaker is saying, or the main points of his. Say what?
Sorry, go ahead. No, nothing.
No,
I'm
it's
rude
not.
man
It doesn't replace being there. But it's pretty good to see live broadcasting and actually seeing it live happening.
Sure. Well, it's funny because that you mentioned that, because again, it's Arnold night tonight. Arnold in our chat is the master of event. Like he has events that contact him and want him specifically to just run their hashtags and social media postings during the event. He'll follow it, monitor it, get the news out there so that people can see what's going on, whether they're at the conference or not. Just a style. It actually, and it helped him pretty much. I mean, that skill, that the ability to do that and to generate conversation and to really promote these events and what's going on with them, pretty much helped him get his current job. So it definitely works. And that's one thing that I totally forgot about.
I say hashtags have become more valuable than lists.
Oh, totally.
Because it used to be utilize lists to build your community. You know what I mean? Like put them into lists, pat their back. I actually started doing that. That was one of the first things I did to build my Twitter community for my business, was started putting people into lists, and then through the lists build it organically. But what I found is participating in hashtag chats or events actually built it quicker, and you built the relationship. You built a deeper relationship initially.
Certainly. I wish somebody would put me on a list that is a list of people who don't care about lists. Because lists, to me, the idea, the concept in the beginning, I loved it, and then it just got so abused, so worthless. It is beneficial for certain things if you're looking for exact people in a particular market or industry. Basically, let other people do the research for you, and they do that for you. But otherwise, such a waste.
I've seen lists for people thanking people for listing them. like thank you for listing me list. And then list all the people that have listed them.
Okay, if I wanted to, I could take all of our Twitter accounts and just start auto-generating lists, and I could put anybody here onto 10,000 lists in less than a week. I guarantee it. and it's just not worth it. It's so dumb. The only thing that's good about a list is that it has something to do with cloud score for some reason, which I think they should remove. But anyway, so Tammy Flores in the chat, I hope that answered your question. This is one we should probably really take this out, yank that particular section out, and put it on YouTube as a standalone. And what is a hashtag? Because we beat that puppy down. That horse is dead, beaten, and I'm continuing to beat it by not stopping the beating. Speaking of beating, Flickr's taking a beating right now. Flickr's taking a beating from Facebook. It's just such a bad beating. So Flickr's the photo sharing site that is that does one thing. Facebook is the site that does so many things. Oh, and by the way, they also share photos. And because they have their 550 million users, it's basically beating down Flickr. So Flickr, in my opinion, this is just an opinion, but my opinion is, and I put this in an article that I titled "The Flickr Facebook Login, Mark Zucker-borg, as in Star Trek, will assimilate them soon."
Thanks for telling us that, JD. You need to throw that part in.
Yeah, thanks.
Not everybody. Hey, not everybody's a geek. All right, not all of us know.
Right.
Apparently, man. Apparently, we're not geeks, and we're second graders and love sex.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, totally. So that picture, I don't know. That's actually an authentic picture that I snapped of Zuckerberg.
Look at that thing.
It's totally not photoshopped or anything at all. I promise. No, but so and this is going to go into an ongoing eventual ebook about stuff that we'll be announcing here soon. But for now, this is the start. Flickr, which is owned by Yahoo, is in my opinion dying, which is a shame because it is a far superior,
much better
overall service than Facebook. It just doesn't have the traction.
The biggest problem with Facebook, which I don't know why people want to put their pictures on Facebook, they don't let you see the original image size. They compress it down so far that things are like little postage stamps. That's what I in the high def world, people who have HD cameras all over the place. Even your phone can probably take a higher quality picture than Facebook can actually display. I don't know how anyone could want or could really appreciate pictures on Facebook.
Flickr is for photography what Tumblr is for blogging.
I don't know. That's,
I post my pictures to Flickr. I'm not going to be posting them to Facebook, or at least.
Not to
I mean, you would agree with that?
Like
You would agree with that?
Tumblr is growing, and Tumblr is a simplification.
No, but what I'm talking
the
about,
blogging
the purity of, Tumblr is all about the purity of blogging. Like,
I don't know
who
about
you
that.
are. Flickr is about the purity of the photo.
I don't use Tumblr, so I can't really agree to that. But
I do, and I can disagree a little bit. But I mean, I see what you're saying, and you're right from a certain perspective.
There's
I just
higher
don't know.
quality.
Like Flickr, keep in mind. So Flickr, if you the biggest complaint on Flickr right now is that if you get to a certain level, you get to a certain point, then you get the option of either deleting your old photos or paying for the premium service. You just can't upload anymore, and that's not the case with Facebook. Facebook's like, post them all on here. We love you.
post them all in there, but they're crap quality.
Where I lost interest in Flickr was when Yahoo adopted Bing's search algorithm, and Flickr photos basically were no longer used in the imaging of search.
Exactly, because they don't want to be a photo dump; they want to be photo share, and they lost.
Yeah,
I mean, it was probably the right move. Honestly, it was probably the right move because from a photo dumping perspective, those places, sites like PhotoBucket, Imgur, they have a hard time making money sometimes. And Flickr didn't want to go that route, so they wanted to say, you know what, we're going to make it premium, we're going to make it more social. They just didn't see the 8 billion ton gorilla stomping on their dreams. And that's if it wasn't for Facebook and the explosion, then Flickr would be in great shape. It wasn't a poor decision to go the direction they're doing. It's just an unfortunate side effect of the Facebook monster. So anyway, do
you ever see Facebook switching to a pay model for higher quality?
No.
Would you pay for higher quality if Facebook allowed you to?
No.
If I was a photographer, I would.
I actually do pay on Flickr. I have a paid account on there, so I
have a paid account because you can only upload like 2 photos a month.
Is it really that low?
Yeah, it's like you can only upload 4 photos. It's by size though, I think.
Yeah,
a month. So I paid
true.
$20 for unlimited.
Yeah,
and this is back when Yahoo still used Flickr into their search. So what was interesting was, we did this. We dumped all these photos in there, and we actually had the #1 photo for the search 2011 Ford Expedition and Ford Expedition that would get like 500 to 600 views a day. And it was like, oh, this is amazing. And then they dumped it, and it was like, oh, this sucks. Like, well, I don't need it anymore because I don't participate in the community.
Exactly. It looks like our audience here is pretty much 50-50 for Flickr versus Facebook.
It was like $20 answering a question from the chat of how much is Flickr. It's free to start. Yeah, like Citizen says, it's free to start. But in order to get to the level where you can upload unlimited, it's $20.
That was like 15.
No, it's like 20.
There is a price.
Because I remember not having the cash on me and me having to borrow it from my brother at the time.
Yep, totally. I mean, hey guys, look. Flickr, in my opinion, will become a portal for the best of Flickr, and the actual Flickr product will be a Facebook app, whether it's purchased by Facebook or transferred over via. It'll be basically Facebook Pictures Premium, so to speak, to where you still get you get all the good stuff that Flickr offers, but you can get it on Facebook. This story is sparked because today Flickr announced that they have integrated the Facebook login. About a year ago, they did the Google login, and everybody thought, oh, okay, so this is good. They got a chance, and then again, Facebook has just exploded, 250 million additional users in 2010, and it squashed their dreams. So either, most likely case, in my opinion, Flickr will be bought by Facebook and integrated as a standalone, standardized tab, where everything that you already have, basically an improved variation, so that Flickr's infrastructure can be absorbed or assimilated into Facebook, and
that wouldn't be that bad of an idea.
No, it makes sense. It benefits everybody, the user, Facebook, and Flickr, and then Yahoo as well, of course.
I'm sure
that they would get money out of it.
As long as they don't kill the quality.
That's the key, and the only way that Facebook can do that from an infrastructure perspective is if they were to do it through Flickr itself.
Yeah.
Have say Flickr says, hey, we'll do it. We'll get more servers, and we'll host all the sites, and we'll use it as an app that goes through Facebook. But as far as the actual hosting of the images, because we want them to be high quality, that'll be done through Flickr.
Yeah.
And then what you'll end up getting is a preview feature to where you can, very similar to how YouTube has their videos, and then you can click for high def. Something similar to that, you have the standard Facebook photos, but if you click on it, then it will take you to the facebook.com/Flickr, or more likely just flickr.com with the you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So Google, I still think, has an outside chance of being a contender if they really do want to get social, which all the indications of the last 2 months have been no, they don't. There's all that big rumor. Kevin Rose really started the rumor about Google Me and them making a Facebook competitor, and that's pretty much, in my opinion, I think it's out the door. But that's all for another show. I think that they've given up on social altogether. So, and which is also, I believe, indicated by former CEO. Well, he's still CEO until April 4th. Eric Schmitz is saying that everything's mobile. So anyway, long story short, Flickr will be assimilated by zucker-borg within a year, in my opinion, and which will again be an improvement for everybody.
I just realized you guys didn't know, but I had been talking for the past 2 minutes, and my mic was on mute.
Oh.
I was asking you questions, JD. I'm like, okay, so JD's just ignoring me now. I guess he just doesn't care what I have to say.
So, Ergo, what do you think? I'm just kidding.
I was like, what the hell, guys?
So rude to me. So rude.
Sorry, we're
Damn
kicking a co-host off every week, and Jeff, it's your turn. You're out of here. It's the JD and Ergo show next week.
Right now, your mic has been muted. You just slowly, are separated.
Jeff, we can't hear you. We can't hear you, Jeff. Let's go. Oh, darn it. Must be technological issues. All right. Well, that's it. I mean, that wraps us up. We are another great show. Thanks, guys. Aaron, get better, get weller, get whatever it is that you need to get, and then get back on here next week. We are looking for guests, so if you have any guest ideas or if you'd like to be a guest on the Social Blade Show, you can go to socialblade.com/show, and you can suggest a guest right there, as well as be able to view our past guests. I'd like to thank you guys. This has been a very, very eventful and awesome audience. I do apologize. I want to make a quick mention. When I am on, as Ergo calls it, Wi-Fi or Wi-Fi or Wi-Fi or whatever it is. No, not when I'm on Wi-Fi. When I am on the Wi-Fi, it's not good for me to be streaming, so I can't always keep track of the chat. I've opened up just now and I saw there's a lot of things at me. I do apologize for not responding, but I will move to a hard line next week and be able to watch and follow the chat like normal. If you do possess what's called a mobile phone, you can actually on
That's good timing.
how can you do that? Hey, I'm wrapping up the Social Blade show. I'll call you back.
So what he was going to try to say was, if you go to j.mp/subus, SUBUS, you can sign up to get an SMS alert when we go live. Not a phone call. We're not going to call each of you personally, but you will get an SMS.
Exactly. Yeah, no. On cue.
Hashtag there, more fancy. You put hashtag timing.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. So definitely sign up for those. They are great. They keep you reminded at all times, not just of our show, but other shows such as Ask Outcast, Band on the Web, and The Drill Down. Excuse me. You should also follow us. Make sure to follow us, friend us, fan us, whatever you want to do. You can subscribe to us at youtube.com/socialblade, facebook.com/socialblade, or twitter.com/socialblade, and we'll keep you guys.
That's the Russian version of Twitter.
That's the what? Twitter. Twitter.
We go to Twitter.
So, one last final announcement. Those who are familiar with Ergo, they know that he has owned the site GoogleWorldDomination.com. Coming soon, he now has a new site. That is Facebook, worlddomination.com. His opinions may be changing. There may be a chance that the world dominator of 2012 or 2013 may not be Google. It may be Mark Zucker-borg.
We shall see. I do have just products in general. I have a Google phone. I have a Google TV now. Google actually just started with Google Voice. I keep getting messages. Someone wants
to say he has a Google Snuggie.
Yeah, Google Voice. No Google Snuggie, but Google Voice is doing portability now, so that's expanding. Google's still dominating, so.
They are dominating. You know who else is dominating? We are. You know why we're dominating?
Oh, tell us.
We are dominating because we are Social Blade.